My dear Libra, maybe you've shed tears that no one ever saw. Maybe you've stayed up through countless nights, wondering why, after all the love, trust, and sincerity you gave, the only thing you received in return was silence, or even abandonment. You've spent years trying to hold everything together, even when your own heart was falling apart. Because deep down, you believed that if you didn't keep the peace, everything around you would collapse. And many times, you quietly asked yourself, does the universe even hear the voice of my soul? Today, I want to gently whisper something your soul has been waiting to hear. On the 28th of August, 2025, a destined door will open for you. This isn't just a small reward or a passing moment of comfort. It's the universe declaring, every loss, every year you felt left behind, was never in vain. It was an energetic investment, quietly stored up by the universe, so that on this day, it could return everything to you, fully, abundantly, and with beautiful interest. Libra, take a breath. Place your hand over your heart and listen closely. Can you feel that soft, indescribable stirring in your chest? That's your soul whispering, yes, the time has come. It's not just a feeling, it's confirmation. Your karmic debt has been paid. And now, you're being invited into a new chapter of life, a chapter where you no longer need to prove your worth, you only need to be and shine. Before we go deeper into this journey, I invite you to pause for a moment. Make yourself a warm cup of tea or coffee, and imagine we're just two friends talking heart to heart about the most sacred things. Part 1. 10 Years of Darkness. Tears no one saw. My dear Libra, when you look back on the past 10 years, perhaps you see yourself as someone who had to walk through a long, quiet darkness, where the light at the end of the path always felt just out of reach. You gave everything you had: love, peace, grace, understanding, yet what you often received in return was silence, indifference, or cold avoidance. How many times did you force a smile to keep the balance, so no one would see the quiet sorrow in your eyes? How many times did you suppress your own needs just to avoid conflict, even as your heart carried wounds too heavy to describe? Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that you love so deeply, try so hard to do what's right, and still end up being the one left behind? Why does it seem like those who care less, who give less, are met with ease, while you, the one who always chose kindness and fairness, are the ones struggling to hold the pieces? For 10 years, Libra has lived in a cycle of quiet sacrifice, always choosing harmony over chaos, hoping that if you kept showing up with softness and sincerity, the universe would one day recognize your heart. But the truth is, there were moments when even the universe seemed silent. Dreams that never came true. Plans that dissolved before they began. Not because you weren't worthy or capable, but because every door felt like it slammed shut before you could step through. You carried emotional weight that didn't belong to you. You shed tears for the pain of others. And many times, you put your own joy on hold, just to protect the peace of the people around you. Libra, do you know this? None of it was meaningless. Even if you felt invisible, even if you felt like a stranger in a world that didn't understand your heart, the universe recorded everything. Every tear, every silent heartbreak, every moment you stood strong when the easy choice would have been to let go. The darkness you walked through was never punishment. It was preparing you for something greater. It was there to reveal a strength within you that even you didn't realize you had, a strength rooted in love, balance, and resilience. And now, on the 28th of August, 2025, the universe will officially declare your 10-year karmic debt has been paid. No more waiting. No more unfinished chapters. No more holding your breath for permission to be happy. This is your moment to step out of the darkness, not as someone weighed down by pain, but as a soul that has been refined by it, matured, empowered, and ready to rise. All the loneliness you once endured will become the clarity that helps you recognize true connection when it arrives. All the abandonment you once felt will become the mirror that shows you who truly deserves to stand beside you. And all the times you believed you were overlooked will become living proof that your light was never gone. It was simply being protected, waiting for the right moment to shine in full brilliance. Libra, remember this. This is not an ending. It's the beginning of a brand new life program. One where you no longer need to suffer to prove your value. One where you no longer need to shrink to keep others comfortable. From this moment on, all you need to do is live in your truth and let the light that's always been yours lead the way. And that journey begins the moment you say yes to the truth. That the last 10 years weren't a loss. They were the sacred ticket that brought you here, to the very doorstep of your destiny. If your heart resonates with these words, leave a comment. I have paid my karmic debt, so the universe knows you are ready to step into your new era. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving sacred messages for the Libra soul, because this is only the beginning of a greater journey that awaits you. Part 2. The true meaning of 10 years of trials. A cosmic investment. My dear Libra, perhaps you've whispered this question to yourself more times than you can count over the past 10 years. Why me? Why do the challenges keep returning? Like the universe is testing me over and over. But pause for a moment and listen with your heart. What you went through was never a punishment. It was a form of sacred preparation so beautifully and intricately woven. Only the universe could have designed it. Look back at the cosmic map of these last 10 years. Your Libra energy has been deeply influenced by the slow and powerful motions of Saturn and Neptune, two planets tied to soul contracts and spiritual refinement. Saturn, the planet of discipline and karma, kept placing you in situations that demanded responsibility, boundaries, and truth. It stripped away illusions and asked you to stand in your inner authority, even when your heart longed to avoid conflict. Meanwhile, Neptune surrounded your heart with a soft fog, drawing you into spaces of idealized love, blurry connections, and emotional self-sacrifice. It led you to give your time, energy, and compassion to places that couldn't or wouldn't return it. That's why you often felt depleted, unseen, or taken for granted. But Libra, every single time you chose kindness over bitterness, grace over resentment, truth over silence, the universe saw it. Every act of emotional maturity. Every time you honored peace, even when it meant walking away from what you once dreamed of. It was all recorded, nothing was wasted. Imagine this. Over the past 10 years, every sacrifice you made was quietly deposited into a karmic account. And that account, it's been gaining interest. A soul-level investment that's now ready to pay out. Because on the 28th of August, 2025, Uranus, the planet of breakthroughs and divine timing, will form a powerful alignment with Neptune. And for Libra, that's the moment when the universe finally presses the release button. Doors that once closed will now open without resistance. The illusions you once lived under will dissolve, and you will finally see your true worth through your own eyes. Not through others' validation, not through perfection, but through truth, beauty, and balance. The very essence of who you are. Libra, you may have compared your journey to others many times, wondering, why is it so easy for them while I've had to fight for every inch of peace? But here's the truth. While others were collecting quick wins, you were planting something deeper. They tasted early fruit, fast to ripen, fast to spoil. But you were tending to an orchard that takes years to mature. And now, the harvest is ready. Every tear you shed was a seed. Every time you held your pain with quiet dignity, you were nourishing something sacred beneath the surface. Now, as the light of the 28th of August shines on your life, those seeds will finally bloom, and those blooms, they'll take form as real love, soul-aligned partnerships, career opportunities that honor your values, and a deep peace that no one can take away from you. And perhaps the most beautiful part of all, the very experiences that once felt like your greatest burdens are now your greatest gifts. Because you were ignored, you learned how to value authenticity. Because you were left behind, you now know how to recognize souls who truly stay. Because you lived without, you've come to understand what abundance really means, not just materially, but spiritually. And because you've been lonely, you've learned to offer presence in a way that heals. The 28th of August is not just the day you get what you've earned. It's the day you receive the full return on everything you've become, the principle and the deep spiritual interest the universe has been saving just for you. Libra, open your heart wide. Let yourself receive. This is not luck. This is cosmic justice. You have not lost anything. You've simply been delayed, so that when the moment arrived, what you receive would be deeper, richer, and more lasting than anything you thought you'd missed. If your heart is saying yes, if you feel the quiet confirmation within your soul, then leave a comment. I am ready to receive. Let that be your signal to the universe. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because the road ahead for Libra is filled with sacred signs, long-awaited breakthroughs, and the kind of love you no longer have to chase. Part 3. The Fated Turning Point. The Doorway of the 28th of August, 2025. My dear Libra, there are moments in life when something within you just knows this is no longer an ordinary day. This is a threshold. A sacred turning point where the past no longer defines you and the future finally invites you forward. For you, the 28th of August, 2025, is exactly that kind of moment. It's the day the universe presses the reset button on your soul's journey, allowing you to step out of 10 years of quiet endurance and into an entirely new reality. One that finally reflects the beauty, the grace, and the strength you've carried all along. The wounds you once saw as burdens will now become badges of honor. Every time you held back your truth to keep the peace. Every time you swallowed your tears so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. Every time you chose harmony while your heart was silently breaking. All of it becomes evidence of your strength, not your weakness. The universe will show you that you are not fragile because you felt deeply. You are powerful because you kept loving anyway. The loneliness that lingered through the past decade was never a punishment. It was a purification. It taught you to see clearly who truly stays, who truly loves, who truly respects your boundaries. By walking through that emptiness, you developed a soul-level filter. One that will now protect you from repeating old cycles and guide you toward only what is real, lasting, and aligned with your highest self. And here, Libra, is the miracle. A new current of energy is beginning to flood your life. True love is arriving, not the kind that demanded you shrink or perform to be worthy, but the kind that walks beside you, gently, sincerely, and without condition. In your career, opportunities that once passed you by will reappear, this time fully aligned with your values and your voice. Creative projects will be reignited, Ideas will flow with ease, and your finances will reflect the expansion that's happening inside of you. And above all, you'll feel a quiet confidence rise from within, a sense that your time has come, and that you don't need anyone's permission to claim it. If the energy of the 28th of August could be described in a single image, it would be this: you being moved from the waiting list to the VIP list of your own life. After years of being the one who gave, supported, and stayed in the background, the universe now places you front and center. The doors that once closed will swing wide open. The music that once played quietly in your heart will now rise so powerfully. The world will finally hear your soul's melody. Astrologically, as Uranus moves in harmony with Neptune, this moment is about far more than outer success. It is about inner awakening. A part of you that had been sleeping is now rising. Dreams you once buried are returning, not to haunt you, but to be fulfilled with the wisdom, clarity, and discernment you've earned. Relationships that once confused you will now become mirrors, helping you see with precision who is meant to stay and who only taught you how to love yourself better. And in all of this, you will realize something extraordinary. You are no longer waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. You are no longer an extra in someone else's story. You are the main character, fully in your power, deeply aligned with your soul, and finally ready to receive all that is meant for you. Libra, trust that the 28th of August is not just a date. It is a cosmic doorway that your soul has been preparing for over many lifetimes. And if your heart is pounding a little faster as you hear these words, if your spirit is whispering, "This message is for me," then now is the time to speak it aloud. Leave a comment. I believe in the turning point of 0828 to signal to the universe that you are ready to walk through this doorway with grace, strength, and full acceptance of who you are becoming. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because the journey that begins after the 28th of August will bring even more signs, synchronicities, and soul messages that your Libra heart is finally ready to receive. Part 4. The Soul Mission. Why you had to endure 10 years of loss. My dear Libra, perhaps more than once you've sat alone in the quiet, asking yourself a question that has echoed for years. Why did I have to lose so much? Why did I have to experience abandonment, betrayal, or heartbreak that seemed to fracture something deep inside me? Maybe, at times, you felt overlooked by the universe, as if grace had skipped over you. But now, as you look back on the past 10 years, you will begin to see the deeper truth. None of it was meant to break you. It was all meant to forge within you a soul strong enough and tender enough to carry a higher mission. Those losses taught you compassion in its purest form. Only someone who has been misunderstood can truly understand others. Only someone who has walked through loneliness can recognize it in another's eyes and offer presence instead of judgment. Because you walked through disappointment, you've come to understand the priceless value of a single kind word, a safe embrace, or a moment of peace. These treasures aren't found in easy lives. They are earned in hearts that have been cracked open by real pain. And those very cracks, Libra, are where your resilience was born. You fell many times, but each time you chose to rise. You learned how to gather your broken pieces with quiet grace. You learned how to balance in the midst of emotional storms, how to create harmony where there was chaos. Until one day, without even realizing it, you became someone who could stand tall, even when the world around you was falling apart. And that strength was never meant to be kept for yourself. It was cultivated in you so you could light the path for others, those still trying to find their way through their own darkness. More than anything, the pain taught you how to discern truth from illusion, love from performance. You were deceived by false promises. You were drawn toward appearances that looked like love, but asked you to silence your truth or bend your boundaries. You gave your heart to places that did not deserve it, and because of that, you now know with unwavering clarity, real love never asks you to shrink. It honors your light. And this clarity, Libra, is a rare and sacred gift. All of this, all the heartbreak, all the silence, all the walking away moments that felt like personal failures, were preparing you for something much greater. The universe is not just rewarding you after 10 years. It is entrusting you with a soul mission. From the 28th of August, 2025, you are being invited not only to live for yourself, but to live as a guiding presence. You are here to bring beauty to what is broken, to bring justice to what has been unfair, to bring peace where there has been inner war. Every trial you endured is now a part of your spiritual toolkit, ready to be used to inspire, to heal, and to awaken strength in the souls around you. And astrology confirms this. As Uranus opens a new current of liberation and forms a harmonious flow with Neptune, your spiritual potential is being awakened, not in abstract ideas, but in tangible ways. This isn't just about romance or career. It's about stepping into your role as an energetic artist of the soul. You, Libra, are meant to be a messenger not just through words, but through presence, through empathy, through the way you create beauty and safety wherever you go. Venus, your ruling planet, is not just about charm. She is the keeper of sacred love, divine fairness, and the kind of wisdom that softens even the harshest spaces. So take a moment and look back. How many times have you been the calm in someone's chaos? How many times have you given hope, just by listening, by smiling, by simply showing up? Even when your own heart was tired, you still gave light to others. That is not coincidence. That is purpose. That is mission. And now, with your karmic debt cleared, you are no longer bound by the wounds of the past. You are free, free to live in your full light, free to offer your gifts from a place of wholeness, not survival. This is not a burden, Libra. It is a sacred honor, a spiritual crown that you earned through 10 years of unseen battles. So if you feel a warmth rising in your chest right now, a gentle but undeniable knowing that says, "This is me," then say it aloud to the universe. Leave a comment. I am ready for my mission, to declare that you are done doubting, done hiding, and fully ready to step into your new role. And don't forget to follow the channel, because the journey ahead will continue to unfold. More signs, more confirmations, more divine directions to help you live, lead, and shine exactly as your soul was always meant to. Part 5. Rebirth and Prosperity. When the debt has been paid, my dear Libra, there is a truth your heart needs to hold forever. The 28th of August, 2025, is not just another turning point. It is the complete rebirth of your soul. This is not a consolation prize handed out after years of loss. It is the beginning of an entirely new life program, one where you are finally free to live in your true essence, your true balance, and your true beauty, exactly as the universe always intended. After 10 long years, you will feel it clearly. There is nothing left to prove. All the efforts you once made to earn validation, to keep the peace, to be seen as enough, they end here. You will reclaim the quiet dignity that was always yours, like the pure-hearted Libra child you once were, before the world taught you to doubt your light. Now, you will no longer need applause to feel worthy. You will no longer seek mirrors to reflect your glow, because the radiance within you is already enough to light your own path and gently guide others forward. And with this rebirth, the people who are truly meant for you will begin to appear. The half-loves, the conditional friendships, the connections that only saw your beauty but never honored your soul, they will slowly fade into the background, and in their place, something sacred will unfold. Soul, aligned love, true friendships and partnerships built on mutual respect and spiritual resonance. These are the ones who have been waiting for you. Not the masked version of you, but the real you. They didn't arrive before because your karmic path hadn't yet cleared, but now they're here. Your soul family, the ones who recognize your light without you needing to explain it. And it won't stop at love. Your creativity, your career, your finances, everything will begin to reflect the expansion that's now taking place inside of you. With Uranus harmonizing with Neptune, a wave of liberation is moving through your life, like a current breaking open a long-blocked stream. Projects that once felt stalled will begin to flourish. New ideas will come faster than ever. Abundance will arrive in unexpected ways. And your finances, once restrained by fear or survival, will begin to reflect your soul's deeper alignment with ease, flow, and deserved prosperity. None of this is coincidence. It's because you are now mature enough, wise enough to handle abundance without being consumed by it. 10 years of living in lack have taught you what truly matters. That peace is priceless, that authenticity cannot be bought, and that wealth without meaning is not really wealth at all. Libra, please understand this. The pain of the past 10 years was never here to destroy you. It was your sacred passage into the version of you that is finally ready to receive. Every heartbreak was a teacher. Every delay was protection. Every lonely chapter was carving out space in your life for what was truly meant to stay. And now, you are stepping into a life program where full love, expansive creativity, fulfilling work, and calm abundance are not distant dreams. They are your new normal. You no longer need to wait. You no longer need to beg. You no longer need to give yourself away just to be chosen. From this day forward, all you need to do is be yourself, and that alone is enough to attract everything your soul has always deserved. The universe is handing you a sacred declaration. Libra, you are enough. You have paid in full. Now, live. Let the 28th of August be the mark you always remember, not just because it ended a season of suffering, but because it opened the most luminous, love-filled, and liberated chapter of your life. The chapter where you no longer survive, you flourish. Where you no longer please, you lead. Where you no longer chase, you attract. If your heart is resonating with this message, leave a comment. I have paid my karmic debt, to affirm to the universe that you are ready to step fully into this new era. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because this is only the beginning. Many more sacred messages, alignments, and signs will come to guide your Libra soul into the life you were always meant to live. My dear Libra, as we close this journey together, I want you to know that the message of the 28th of August, 2025 is not just for you. It is for anyone who has ever walked through the dark and wondered if the light would return. It is the universal reminder that no pain is ever wasted and no delay is ever meaningless. Every tear, every quiet sacrifice, every silent act of grace has been acknowledged by the divine. and it will return to you not just as healing, but as wholeness. Not just as restoration, but as reward. The practical lesson you can carry with you from this message is simple but powerful. Trust the timing of your soul. Even when others seem to arrive faster, even when the world rushes ahead, what you are building is not a quick success. It is a life that will last, a life that honors your truth. So, start today. Set boundaries that protect your peace. Listen to your intuition. It is the universe speaking through you. And most of all, never shrink yourself just to be loved, because real love will always find you when you are aligned with your authentic self. If these words feel like a mirror to your heart, leave a comment. I have paid my karmic debt, as a sacred signal to the universe that you are ready to receive, ready to rise, ready to live. And remember this: the 28th of August, 2025 is your day of rebirth. From this moment on, you are no longer the one carrying karmic burdens. You are the one carrying the crown. The right to live fully, abundantly, and radiantly is now yours. Thank you for walking this journey with me. I look forward to seeing you in the chapters ahead, where we'll continue to decode the sacred signs the universe is sending to your beautiful Libra soul. And if this message is resonating deep within you, leave a signal to the universe by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and commenting, I have paid my karmic debt. Let that be your affirmation, that you're ready to step into this new soul chapter, filled with love, clarity, and cosmic grace.